Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Superior Adventures Guild. My name's Dave, your humble host for another episode of Monday Night Mayhem, and super duper excited to jump into part 2 of DM Taithalonos' homebrewed world. I'm really excited to see what happens. We had to bring in a ringer here. Ashley's joining us. I'll let her introduce herself in a minute, but Tyler tried to kill us all last week with a mole in the party. We'll get to that, but thank you all for being here. This is part of our Monday night series where we kind of do whatever the heck we want to do. We invite people to run games on the channel, and some of them are going to one shot, some of them are short shots. And so tonight, Tyler is back with the conclusion of his two shot. There we go. On Monday Night Mayhem. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Tyler to introduce himself and tell us what the heck is going on here, a little bit about his world before we get into player intros. So Tyler, thank you so much for coming back and doing this another week. You must have had a good time last week.
Yeah, it was fun. The nerves are kicking in again, but you know, it's a good time. So excited to kick it back up.
We're here to support you, sir.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, otherwise, we'll be back in Cyrenthe tonight, just barely touching the edge of the fangs, or past the fangs, just barely touching the decayed marshes. Had one night, or I guess I'll go into what actually happened later when we kick back in, but yeah, second night of the two-shot, and we'll see what happens. Why don't we start again with player introductions, so who you are and where we can find you, and then your character. So let's start with Brett, please, again.
All right, well, the name's Brett, and you can't find me anywhere. I don't do anything, I don't stream or anything like that, so I just play games with people. But I am also known as Death OK Greyhawk on Twitch, but otherwise I am playing Krag Ballor, the human paladin of the storm goddess. And yeah, looking forward to it. And yeah, we had a great time last week, so I'm looking forward to another great time tonight.
Great.
Mike Heck. I'm the Madcap23 on Twitch, Madcap23 on D&D Beyond. I've been creating homebrew content on D&D Beyond. Been a DM for many years, and I'm thinking about trying to do some stuff with maybe DMing for Guild Superior in some point in the future. With that, I am playing Cyrenthe Ruby Shield, a dwarf fighter who used to be in the army and just, yeah, not very happy anymore. Back to you, Tyler.
So we'll save Dave for last, but how about Ashley? For thanks again for coming on and filling in again. We the old goat had something come up family wise. Everything's good, no worries. But luckily, Ashley had some free time and was able to jump in. So Ashley.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. You can find me here on this channel on Wednesday nights for Beyond Saltmarsh. So we've got one more Beyond Saltmarsh wrap up where you can ask us questions. So please stop on by, ask us questions on Wednesday. We'd love to see you there. You can also find me on Thursdays on Rainbows and Razor Blades for At the Threshold. So that's at 7 p.m. Come stop by, say hi, lurk, whatever. It's a good time. And tonight I am playing for you Kelfina Underfoot, the halfling cleric who is a war priest. And I have a -2 charisma, so I am ready. Anyway.
And last but not least, Dave.
Hello, everybody. Of course, you know me. My name's Dave. I play games and run games and produce games here on Guild Superior. Just love playing Dungeons and Dragons and other games with my friends, and I'm lucky to have a lot of folks that have joined the guild and have been running games, like Tyler. Ashley's going to be running a game here on Monday night in a couple weeks. Bleak Season has jumped in to run some games and help us to launch some new programming. So Really, really excited to be here. I am playing Ivana Lilamov, who is a human sorcerer, and she is definitely out of her element here in the Decayed Marshes, far from the, I would say, the chambers of study, where she has embedded herself into all kinds of study of the arcane. She is here on a mission to learn more about this black dragon that is said to inhabit the Decayed Marshes, and to learn some of the esoteric magics therein. So excited to see what happens and if she even lives through this first training exercise that's deadlier than heck. Not Mike Heck, but deadlier than heck. Yeah, so that's my character. A couple of quick announcements. As Ashley said, on Wednesday night is our finale, sort of last episode of Saltmarsh. We wrapped up the adventure and the character arc and the story that we've been running with for like 2.5 years last week, and so this week we're going to do Q&A. We are encouraging folks who are in our Discord to submit questions for myself or the players. I'm telling the players to bring some questions, so we'll have sort of a fun little Q&A. And I hope you will all join us. I'm so excited about this, you guys. We have a ton of new content coming to the Guild channel in September. We have a Blade Runner game coming on Sundays. We have the new Greyhawk, the Heroes of Greyhawk, coming on Tuesday nights in September. We have Bleak Season's Shadesong Saga coming to the Guild on a weekly basis in September. And God, am I forgetting something? There's something else.
Continuing Monday Night Madness.
Monday Night Madness is going to continue with new content. Thank you, Ashley. There's going to be some new content coming. And then, gosh, down the line, we've got even some more new stuff in the works for like November-ish. So things are happening. A lot of people are getting involved. And I just want to give a shout out to Ashley and the Bleak Season and Andy G3D and Miko for stepping up to help with production and planning and content development. And it's just so cool to have such an awesome team working together. So that's all I have for the moment. I am going to toss it back. I should say this. If you want to support the stream, I always forget this part. This is like one of the most important parts. If you're not following, follow us. Hang out in the chat and get goofy with us. We love interacting with you. And then if you want to influence the game, you can cheer bits into the game to affect people's abilities to roll with advantage. We call them advantage points. So that's it. I'm going to shut up and toss it back to Tyler.
Thanks. One extra note along just for the players' remembrance, you three who were here last week still have the boon. I learned this at boot camp. So you get a +3 to 1 roll as long as, we kind of come up with a story that occurred during that time. Just want to make sure you use that. Again, those advantages, if the bits come through, remember about those. I still have 5 left over from Fantasy Animal Vegan.
Ooh.
So be warned. But yes, let's go jump into a quick recap of what happened previously. So last time you all ended up arriving at the Fangs on your own different reasonings and own different timelines, upon which you started the orientation into becoming a member of the Gleaming Fangs, the adventuring group that here lies in the heart of Cyrenthe, protecting the rest of the country against the Decayed Marshes. As per normal kind of training, you are to head into the Maw, which is the entrance of the Decayed Marshes. Your first day, you were met with a pack of mud mephits who had attacked a trio of bullywugs, and your evening, you reached the first camp, which is on the farthest east side of the Maw. There you were awoken rather abruptly by a call of an ambush by your squad leader and your observer and instructor, Telerak. only to find that he was speared to a tree and a werebear came strolling out of the mist. When you set upon this werebear in defense of yourselves, a werewolf attacked from the side. Luckily, Cyrenthe and Krag had learned of their previous fighting styles and came together and were able to defeat the werebear, upon which when I believe Cyrenthe struck the werebear in the knee, downing him, he had a glimmering shimmer around him, and what actually fell was a massive human, maybe even a Goliath. So not the werebear that you were expecting. The other point of note that kind of shocked you was hearing some laughing near you. And sure enough, there's Taithalonos laughing as he pulls a fake blunted spear away from his chest, saying, "Oh, Bear, they got you good." A little offset, kind of, I guess, yes, a little off balance, off put by this. The werewolf steps a few feet away and actually raises up to her muzzle and pulls back. And as she pulls back her muzzle and it stretches wider, it finally pulls off, and a reddish pink skinned tiefling appears in front of you as her wolf's head cowl now kind of rests back behind her head, seemingly not attacking, non-aggressive, off to the side. And off in a little bit to the east, you do start to hear a little bit of squish, 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 as a third figure comes running in, who is actually by all appearance this evening, a half-elven female. They do run right past Cyrenthe and Krag. Feel free to jump in at any time when you guys want to say anything, but we'll come in and start tending to his wounds and trying to shake him awake. Surprisingly rough with him, but sure enough does heal him, at least bring him around to consciousness. Well done, well done. You did very well tonight.
This was all a test?
But yes, we have to see the metal, the countenance of those that are put against what should have been some worthy foes, to see whether a strategy was put together, you ran as a team, or some may run off alone. It is good to know personal preference.
It is an elegant ruse. Well done, Taithalonos.
Thank you.
So just tell me, are we safe to camp here?
Oh, yes. Should be just fine, just like any other normal night. This was the only surprise here.
Fine.
Insight check.
Sure.
While he's doing that, she's doing that, Cyrenthe pulls his
22.
bedroll off his back and throws it on the ground and just
seems to be telling the truth.
She'll relax when she sees that and walk forward. I took this from you thinking that it was important when I thought you were dead to return to the Fangs, but here you go, Taithalonos, and she'll hand the journal that she has been paging through this whole time, trying to gather information specifically about how she's doing.
When you open it up, It's a relatively simple hand sewn notebook, soft leather cover, and when you open it, it's probably about half full with pages. All the front of it, just torn out pieces. You only see the edge of it, and on the front page does have some notes about your team. The rest of the notebook, completely bare. Notes taken, kind of basic strategy about how the team had been doing, that there was the beginning of a defensible teamwork between Cyrenthe and Krag. Juan was seemed to be quite cunning, calculating, strategic, a little wild. Ivana, as a note, what catches you is seemingly information that you've already known, to you at least. A little unfamiliar with the wilds, a little green, but there is a circled note of potential. Whether or not you take that as, or how you take that, you can take that as you will.
She's pleased. She's pleased with that. She'll take that.
And he's definitely not off put at all by taking the notebook. He, as you know now, was awake during that time, and isn't too upset, that you had done that. For the rest of the evening, if there's a little bit of time where adrenaline is still pumping, you might hear some more about them. Of Baird is who was that werebear, the cleric named Evergreen, and the tiefling, the werewolf, it was Velrin. And they are kind of the welcome squad, where this is what they kind of do. This is part of what they're asked to test the mettle of the newbies. And it has been a while since they have been taken down like that. So congratulations are given to you all during that. No hard feelings. You do hear Baird very kind of grumpy that he's going to be limping for a week.
That's what you get for coming after a dwarf.
But yeah, otherwise it seems, again, that strange jovial attitude that you didn't really expect when you were to come to the Fangs and join this dangerous adventurers guild. The only other thing of note, the three of them do hand off Telerak a pair of healing potions to him. And you might take note of that, of what was occurring, but they, the night will kind of fast track a little bit because not much happens. This is a relatively safe part. What you have to really worry about here is an odd incursion, or maybe will-o-wisps in the evening. But with this number and the other strength of the others, you feel pretty safe.
Ty, if I could jump in really quick, I just want to say thank you to the OKS GM for gifting a bunch of subs earlier. Thank you very much, Miko.
Thank you. Yeah, so the next morning comes. Again, you're detailed more about the plan for the day. You have another day of walking along the marsh, away from the cliffs, heading west. You'll find the next encampment near about the center. You have another day after that to reach the far side, and then one last day down to the Western Fangs.
So did we get a long rest there or not?
Yes. Feel free to take a long rest.
In the morning, Ivana is just like prestidigitating all her clothes that are muddied from the battle, and just cleaning herself up, making her smell a little bit better after a night in the marsh. I imagine dirty
happen
and
a
dank.
lot. Yes.
Yeah.
As of now, you are still on relatively firm ground. You haven't really traveled into the marsh as of yet. It definitely gets close, but it's not there, or you're not truly sinking in as of yet.
Sathatar looks at her and just goes, "Lass, it's gonna get worse before it gets better."
I expect it
Yeah,
to.
Craig will go ahead and just smell this because he hasn't been in this area before or anything like this. So, especially worshiping the goddess of storms and Tempest and all that. It's not storms and all, but it's a completely unique smell. So I'm thinking I am taking that in and just thinking about it and feeling it all, feeling it around me.
All right, and your next day heading west starts off normal. You're actually all four of you that night or that morning are handed a standard healing potion, because now actually is when the dangers of the marsh can actually occur. The first bit is normally the safest, so now it starts to get a little dangerous, so he wants to make sure everybody is prepared. But the day seems to not change. The mists are near ever present off to the north. The gray brown of the tongue extends to your south, and as you step away, the cliffs are on your east and ever shrinking as you walk farther deeper into the maw. The day passes. Nothing terribly strange, nothing out of the blue. Telerak keeps you on relatively solid ground. You don't move into the marshes. This is just a simple patrol to make sure, well, nothing untoward it seems to be occurring. Also helps keep contact with the fangs to keep them all updated. He said that this is the first leg of the journey and explains more about becoming a gleaming fang. This first bit is inside the maw. The next is nearly a month where you will travel around the decayed marshes, around the mountains rather than inside the marsh. And just to keep up that constant patrol. And you see, that's probably where a lot of the others were going while you were in that training. Some were heading on that month journey. Some were on this quick 4-5 day journey around the mall. The second day, you arrive at what seems to be the campsite. There's a campfire that is set in the ground that seems to be well used, and a pair of intertwining trees out to the north. And the evening starts relatively quiet. You start getting some food ready. You see Telerak actually does step to a stump near the two trees and lifts off the cover. And you see it's not actually a stump. It's some kind of stone or worked metal or something disguised as a stump. And inside you find he pulls out a couple candles and a few different colored plates of glass. Nothing seems to occur to it. He just kind of leaves them there and sets them out, and we'll use those later this evening. They're used for signaling.
Oh, all right.
After maybe half an hour, it starts getting a little agitated, kind of always looking off to the west. And you hear him mutter under his breath a few times. Should have been here by now.
Is everything okay, Telerak?
Because normally we have another squad comes through, and this is the meeting place for two teams, one going east and west. They're running late. I hope nothing's wrong.
One quick question is, I don't know if I would know what the normal sound of level sound of animals would be in a marsh, but I'm just curious if does it seem abnormally quiet as we're making our journey in general, or does it seem like we hear the frogs, we hear the toads, we hear the birds? I'm just
During
curious.
during the day, the animal din and noise is pretty constant throughout the entire day. And
Okay.
even tonight, the only reason it's getting louder is because more insects and other night animals are coming alive, and it is starting to get a little louder, but it does not seem not terribly strange.
Okay.
Right about dusk, as you're starting to lose the light. You know what? Why doesn't the three of you roll a perception check?
Eight.
16.
16.
So Sethatir and Krag, about the same time, you're kind of always looking around, paying a little more attention to the marshes, maybe glancing off to the west. You do start hearing some light trudging of feet, and it's just a different noise, maybe a little bit of grumbling before a figure appears out of the darkness or the near darkness. Ashley, if you would like to introduce how your character looks, and I guess jump right in.
Out of the darkness, you see a halfling in full plate armor. I think it's plate. Hold on a second. Chainmail armor. Carrying, like, dragging something after them, and you hear like, "Ugh, god damn it!" As she just is just struggling to, like, get all the way to this campfire. And like she starts to see movement around the fire, and she just goes, "Can you guys give me a hand?"
I will
Hello?
definitely. She reminds me already a little bit of Keela, the gnome, except much obviously stronger. She's wearing chainmail. And I'll head right over and give her a hand. What are you carrying again?
You see that I have, like, taken a rope and tied, like, two branches together to make a makeshift stretcher that I am dragging across this marshy wasteland, and on it is a half-orc warlock.
Oh my.
Who looks like he has been wounded, and he is not happy.
Ivana takes an immediate defensive position as she sees the wounded. Are there more?
Oh, there was another guy, but, like, he wandered off, and I don't know what happened to him.
That doesn't
Maybe he
sound
went
good.
back.
Sathatir's gonna go over and grab the rope from you don't have your name up there, Ash.
Halfina.
Kelfina, and say, well, fine, let's get him near the campfire. And start dragging him with my 18 strength. Actually, I lift him up and put him over my shoulder.
This is so undignified.
Oh, just whine a little bit more. I can drag you through the muck if you want.
It's not like you had to walk here. Come on.
Good
I'm
point.
looking
Good
down
point.
at this little halfling that just pulled this person along a couple branches with a rope tied around him. Like, how long have you been walking?
A while.
Prestidigitation, cleaning her armor up a little bit.
Clean this one up.
Horrible. I'm not a healer.
Oh, I mean, I can, but I'm...
Is he going to die? Telarax, will this one die?
No, he's not gonna die. I would have healed him if he was dying, but like...
Insight check. Oh,
I'm a
shit.
healer, but you know.
6. I rolled a 6.
Hard to tell.
I. mm, eh.
Are you
With-
one of the Fang, or are you a new recruit?
Oh, I just signed on for this.
What's the
Isn't it
secret
fun?
password? What's the secret password?
Let's kill some stuff.
Guys, I can't.
That works for me. That's 100%. I'm down with that. Ivana, could you do something about the smell of the half orc? He's been dragged through the muck.
Prestidigitation, flowers and honey.
That's gonna be great.
Is this gonna
So
bring
tell her-
bears?
Yeah.
Funny you ask. Telerax, should we be concerned that they've been attacked?
I do, Calvina, the other members of the group that you don't, or that aren't players here, is a wild elven ranger that's kind of, wouldn't say hiding, but definitely standing next to the 2 trees nearest the marsh. And a red dragonborn who you hear must be this Telerax as he steps forward. Well, I don't recognize you two. Who might you be?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Calfina Underfoot. And I am, I was sent here, by, Kisus, Kisus. And, so I just thought I would, come out and earn my stripes by, protecting the land by killing things.
I like that one.
Sounds pretty legit.
He kind of squints at you and glances down to the half orc, who kind of obviously had a rough day and kind of shies away from the glare and kind of spills the beans, spills the guts. Just Aldrin, we came out with Larissa's, and it was Calfina and me and Arlen. No, I'm Arlen. Wait, I don't
Orlin?
remember.
Was he hit in the
Yes.
head?
That's all
Um,
coming back to me now.
and essentially he kind of spouts out that the 3 of them were not interested in waiting for orientation for a whole group, and
So boring.
the
I
3
mean, how
of
can you
them
sit through it?
pestered and were eventually handed off to Larissus, who actually Telerak does know. And well, where is Larissus now? If you were out here with her.
I don't know. There was a lot going on. I mean, there were will-o-wisps, and then like Aldrin stepped in a hole, and then he started screaming, and then there were more will-o-wisps, and then I don't know what happened to Orlin, and yeah, it was kind of chaos.
Wait, you're telling me it was an option to just pester people until I was given a chance to come out and prove myself?
I guess so.
Good God, I should have tried that.
Yeah, but do you really want to be with them?
True.
Yeah, it
I
didn't
mean,
go
I
too well.
survived.
It didn't go that well for your squad, though, to be honest.
She survived. I mean, true.
That one doesn't look so good.
She seems kind of scrappy, though.
I mean, I am all of like 4 foot, maybe.
Yeah.
Too. Just
Maybe they
halfling
just didn't
beefcake.
see you.
I am real good at hiding.
Clink, 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 clink.
Or maybe not, because I have disadvantage at stealth. But I am very short.
Aldrin will continue to kind of speak quickly to say that there was some will-o-wisps that attacked, and something came up and attacked him, and he fell over and seemed to have broken his ankle or some such.
It was a hole.
He'll kind of glare back at Kalfina, and Orlin went running out into the marshes after a will-o-wisp, and Larissa's chased after.
See, now
Kalfina,
even I know you're not supposed to chase will-o-wisps into the marsh. Yeah, I think you should have checked the syllabus before you headed out and skipped orientation.
Run away from will-o-wisps, and you run away from werewolves.
Wait. She didn't go running off. Some of the other party did.
True.
So
That's
would
what
you
I'm
like
saying.
to play some dice? I've got a set of dice here.
Oh, are we gonna play a game?
Come over by the fire. I'll teach you how to play ship captain bosun.
Is that a real game?
Yes.
Okay.
She'll like just toddle over there.
I guess the rest of the dusk, is kind of some small talk, a little bit of chit chat. If anything more of kind of what happened or story comes out, maybe they'll come up later. But you do see, once night has fallen, Telerak actually takes one of the candles, lights it, puts it in the crook of the tree, and places a piece of glass on the other side of it. And
what color?
It is green glass. All right. As you know, this point is a place of meeting, both of other teams and contacts from the marsh. So tonight, keep an eye. Look for some will-o-wisps that don't move or may be a strange color. If you see any, let me know.
Should we kill them?
No, maybe, probably not.
Okay.
Just don't go running out into the marsh.
Good advice.
I'll wait for them to come to us.
With that, I don't know if there's anyone who feels like they would like to be on watch. Sathatir.
I would take a watch.
Yeah.
So, well, let's start with Sathatir and Ivana. And why don't you both make a perception check?
Oh.
I rolled a 5.
Ugh, I rolled a 7.
Level 2.
So, Sathatir, what do you make of this party showing up like this? It seems odd.
A bit odd, yes. I wouldn't expect a well-organized group like the Fangs to allow such badgering to let some little ones out into the world. I say, but it's very odd that their leader, that their guide was not with them.
Do you think this could be another one of these setups that Talarax is so fond of, it appears?
No, I took it that his body language was that of a commander that had lost a portion of his legion.
Tell me, you are a warrior of some experience and capability. Do you get a sense that Talarax is of the same ilk?
I think Telerak could hold his own in a fight. I don't think that I'd want to test my warhammer against him unless I had a good person backing me. I don't think anyone goes through these marshes without having some experience, right? So I still am a bit confused about yourself. I mean, I know why I'm here. I throw myself at danger and try to protect the land, but you seem to be interested in a black dragon, and
Well,
I've seen what some of those beasts can do when it's not pleasant.
I am interested in learning things, I think is why I'm here. I was asked to come here, but there's much to learn, and I know that I have very little experience in the wilds, certainly compared to the rest of you. But I'll tell you one thing I do know is not to run into the woods after will-o-wisps. I will not be doing that. I do hope that we don't run into any of them. They are powerful little creatures.
So I've heard. I think though that, and I pick up my warhammer and smack it into the palm of my hand. Perhaps with a bit of help, one would not be too difficult.
Perhaps. But if we do get in a fight, I do hope that the Dragonborn will step in if we need him. I guess that remains to be seen.
About this time, you hear a quiet voice coming from just off into the, or a lot closer than you would expect. Ah, you're new.
Jump to my feet, hammer in hand, shield up. Who's
Hello?
there?
I am Slith. And out of the darkness, seeing what you didn't really notice at first is kind of a mound. Seems to shift, but you thought was a mound. But it takes the form of a lizard man.
Stand your ground. Stay right where you are.
Oh yes, don't worry.
Ivano, go and wake up our leader.
Telerax, yes. She rushes over to wake up Telerax and just kind of kicks him in the boot.
Yeah, what?
We have
What?
visitors.
Visitors?
Come.
What about the lights?
To your feet.
There were no lights. There's just a lizard here.
No.
Seeing this lizard folk kind of stepping back and forth, patiently waiting and seemingly, not terribly threatening. Cyrenthe, you do look around and glance about for any more. And out in the distance, you do see that there is a purple light out into the marshes. The Telerax, getting up as well, comes forward and looks around the tree to see this standoff and sees Slith. Slith, it's good to see you. Come to the fire. I'm surprised to see you here. Yeah, well, I had the symbol, the fire out, but I didn't get any callback, so I was curious. And Telerac will kind of glance out into the out north, and Ivana, at this point, you too see a purple light sitting still out there. Well, I see some weren't paying attention very well.
It's true. We were getting a chit-chatty over here. Slisk? You say?
Slith. Yes, Slith.
Nice to meet you. Are you
as well?
One of the Gleaming?
No, but I work with them.
Oh, interesting.
Telerac will kind of step in and wake everyone up to obviously wants everybody to hear what's going on and
Oh man, I just got to sleep.
Oh, I'll
you'll
be
be
there in
fine.
10 minutes as I start to put on my armor again.
Ah, it's fine. You can go back to sleep after this. But Telerax, something we may need your help. There's an unnamed causing trouble, and well, she used to be one of us, so we can't. But if you could, you would save us some trouble. She's been by the fields and taking some bodies.
Well, that's an unnamed.
That's what I was going to ask.
She was an old leader, and she did things she was not supposed to do, not to us anyway. And she was exiled, and we stripped her name. She can live by herself in the marsh. That's fine, but you can't come back and not disturb the rest of the rest of us.
How bad is it what she's doing?
I mean, I don't know what you do with dead bodies.
I mean, I don't want to ask.
I'll
She's
ask.
doing necromantic
What's she doing with
stuff.
the dead bodies? Sorry, go ahead.
She's doing necromantic things, isn't she?
She's.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Others have seen others walking with her. Others a little unnatural, but
So you're saying she made herself some dead friends?
maybe we only see her at night, so we don't know.
I've always been partial to living friends, but this does sound troubling. Is this something we should be concerned about, Telerax?
Well, it is not unnatural to head into the marsh to assist Slithk and their tribe and others who would parlay and speak with us and give us information and warnings of other dangers coming. But you are a bit new, and I am a bit hesitant to jump into the marshes.
Yes, but I did see. I have to admit, I took a peek into your journal, and you did give us very high marks. Well, most of them high marks. You did say I had promise, but the others you had many nice things to say. I do think we're capable.
Baron. Baron.
Wait,
Sorry.
They're ranking us? Do we get grades?
We do.
Only if you don't badger them to leave early.
Or chase
Aw,
after will-o'-wisps in the
No,
dark.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We were successful in taking down Baron. I think we've proven our mettle to be strong enough to go into the marsh and help this lizard.
Yeah, we can do it. You've seen us in action.
There's many things we could learn if we explore a bit further.
With kind of hearing your enthusiasm for heading in, Slith does seem to be a little bouncy and excited, but Telerax does seem still a bit reserved. Well, I guess if I don't mind, and if you all don't, very well. Let us head out then. But we'll wait till the morning. Slith, whereabouts is this? Excited to give more information to hear that you'll probably be helping take care of his problem. He'll jump in and be like, she's about a half a day, maybe a little longer. It's very easy to get to, and I can show you the way, but I I sneaks. I don't fight.
Well, I'm great at sneaking. And you just hear clink, clink, clink. It's
Yeah,
still like
and-
fastening on her armor.
And my mother was an ogre. Let's
Was
just
she?
show us, as far as you know, show us the way. We'll be right behind you.
Let's not be too hasty. Let us go in the morning.
No. I
Slith
agree
does-
for morning.
Yeah, Slith does seem agreeable to that, and he'll stay a little ways from you all, a little closer to the marsh, and I guess continue. Your rest kind of continues. I don't know if Krag and Calfina wanted to be taking kind of a watch at the same time. If you don't, it's no big deal. Or if Telerax as well, if anyone wants to jump in with another watch.
How long has it been long enough to start another watch?
It's reaching about that time that you can guess that.
Well, yeah, we got woken up anyway. We might as well go ahead and take a watch. We got half of our armor on.
Yeah, okay.
You don't sleep in your armor? Oh,
Ooh, uncomfortable.
No, I like to actually rest comfortably.
I mean, have you ever tried it? It's exhausting. But bum.
oh boo.
Wait, did they all give you armor?
No, this was mine from before. Look, you
Yeah.
can see the scratches right here. That was from where a wolf just tried to claw through it. And
What's that burn
Nice.
mark from right there? That burn on the back.
oh yeah, well, let's just say don't get too close to siege engines that are throwing flaming oil.
Oh my.
You
And what's
fell
that
asleep
puncture
and rolled
wound?
into the fire, didn't you?
I don't like you anymore.
-2 charisma.
Oh, it's great.
the rest of the.
but-
Yep. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say yeah, but yeah, we'll take the next watch.
All right. Why don't you two make a perception check?
$21.
16.
Both of you keep your watch a little more attentive, and Calfina has experienced the dangers of the marsh already. Krag to some extent, but more so the entrance to and not actually of the marsh. But you're both on watch, and again, all that really sits and noticeable is that purple light that Slith had lit, awaiting a response, still unmoving, still ever lit, and your watch passes uneventfully.
So, what do you think that light is supposed to do?
Well, I think there's supposed to be another color light at some point.
What, they're just gonna swap it out?
Or maybe it means something? I don't know.
I mean, that would have been really useful to know.
Yeah, I think we're just supposed to say if we see a different color, then we let them know it's a different color.
Okay. So what are you in here for?
Oh, well, I get bored not doing things.
Yeah, you
And
know, right?
so yeah, I came here looking for a little excitement to happen at the during this time. I've just been wandering around, patrolling from town to town, town to town, town to town. It just gets dull. So I thought, hey, I was talking to my clergy, and they said, hey, why don't you come over here? And I said, sure, anything.
Yeah,
And
this place
yeah.
is great for that.
yeah, it seems like I was expecting a little bit more, but At the same time, I found out I don't like mud methods.
Oh,
You probably want to stay away from them too.
Methods?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Probably asleep now. Or dead. Probably dead.
Yeah, they're gone. They're a long ways away too. All right, we've been good about keeping watch. Let's make sure we keep doing that. Instead of
Okay.
we don't want.
Yeah. Next, you wake up Telerak. Him and Juan will be on the last watch. Again, you are both able to take your rest. Everyone gets another long rest, and the dawn comes, and you're left with seemingly 5 who are ready to go into the, or 7 of you are ready to go into the marshes, and 1 yet injured Alderin. And Telerak actually announces to everybody, well, we can't all head into the marshes. Juan, since he seems to be the most knowledgeable, understanding, he'll head back the way he came. He'll bring Alderin, and Alderin does seem better. That ankle, though, is still very tender with it, and already is kind of leaning on Juan's shoulder. And the 2 of you shall go back to the east and head back to the Eastern Fang. And Juan, you might get back early enough to meet up with the 3rd group and come back out. Your day, or it's breakfast is had, and as you separate out, Juan makes surprisingly quick work to all of a sudden he's gone. They're both out and moving at the pace. Seems like now he can actually go at his own pace now that he's not with everybody else.
Oh, he's Juan gone then.
Oh, that hurts.
I think you should get inspiration for it.
No, I'm gonna hold on to those.
Why encourage us?
So the camp is packed up as per normal. Everything put back, even the glass is and the candle is returned to the stump. And you make your way out 150 feet out into the swamp, and it is relatively easy going to start, and it does start to get a little more difficult as you reach that still burning purple light, whereupon Cyrenthe will take the time to, same thing, remove the glass and the candle and put it down into its own safety hole. It seems like this is a standard meeting place that the lights are there to announce to the other party that someone is actually here. Now, for this part, we are going to essentially we're going to have a skill challenge to rate how well and how quickly you all are able to reach wherever you are going. Cyrenthe is able to be used as, a guide on one roll that someone can get advantage with if you can explain how you end up using Cyrenthe's help, whether it's up to you guys how it's done, or even if you want to try to convince them to fight with you, that's all up to whoever wants to go. And there will also be, so there's going to be 4 rolls for the 4 of you. Someone will roll something for Telerak as well. No worries about actually arriving. You all are going to arrive. The question is when. Let's do one thing. Ivana, can you roll an Arcana check for me, please?
19.
Knowing that with your arcane backgrounds, you do know that there's a bit of a stigma towards rituals and strange occurrences that seem to occur around magic users, that the full moon does seem to have something to do with it, or at least it's a preconceived notion. But today is the 39th day of the year. You still have 3 more days until the blue moon. Crud, now I gotta remember my names. Nylir becomes a full moon. And you are the white moon Letha is in remission and is that waxing or waning? I always forget. Waning. Is waning and is at this point less than a quarter. It is definitely past its full moon time. So
what was the name of the second moon?
The white moon is Letha. And the blue moon is Nylir.
Okay. So I know that there are phenomena that are associated with the changing of the moon phase, basically.
As per standard arcane tradition and stories and whatnot. So, that's something to kind of keep in the back pocket of what's going on. Again, doesn't seem like it's going to be a main occurrence or an issue, especially if it's only a half day, maybe a little bit longer trudge away.
Does my knowledge suggest that they have an amplifying effect on magic, sort of a numbing effect on magic, or just weird things happen or anything in particular?
That weird play between magic and the moons, and nothing terrible, nothing known.
Okay.
Just is what it is. There always seems to be those stories.
Nothing to be concerned about.
No.
Okay, got it.
A second thing to note, Slith does not seem to have any trouble walking along the marshes, and even through the patches of deep water, he's still striding across the top. He actually walks on top of the water.
That's a neat trick.
Yeah. Something I picked up a long time ago.
You must not weigh anything.
You have hollow bones.
Oh, no. I
bet I could throw him. I bet I could throw him at least 500 yards.
I'll take that bet.
Come here, Slith. Let's do it. If you got hollow bones, I'm going to throw you like a javelin.
He'll stand in some deep water and keep pace from you.
Wait, what did you do with your finger wigglies?
As he raises his hand, you do see a ring on one of his fingers.
Oh.
It sneaks. All right. Anybody who has something, I guess one other note, if you're using the same skill as somebody else, there will be a bit of a, higher difficulty, but that's kind of normal. So.
Okay. So question, I'd like to use athletics.
Ah.
Okay. Hang on. Okay.
No, just kidding. No, that's fine. That's fine.
I've got a +6 in athletics and a +4 in acrobatics. So I could use acrobatics or athletics. Those are my two that are the best. Or investigation. Actually, Craig, since you've got acrobat or athletics, I'm going to use investigation and try to use my investigation to see if I can find a better path through the swamp by just looking at where animal tracks and other things and fallen trees make a decent path.
All right.
And that's a 13.
All right. At this point in the swamp, there's not a ton of animal tracks. You actually think you do follow some, and you start heading off one direction, which small claws. And as you get...
So I learned this in boot camp.
Okay.
When one can't find any type of a gentleman by the name, it's a tabaxi gentleman by the name of Veneer Lightfoot told me that when you can't find animal tracks to follow through the marsh, what you need to look for is patches of grass, because grass cannot grow well on marsh sediment. That would be moss and other things. If we can find a path with grass, it will lead us to more dry ground. It might be muddy, but it's not going to have us fall through. So he taught me how to track better through the swamp.
Sure enough, you do. Slithk is able to walk straight shot and kind of leaves you all hanging. And with Sattir kind of poking around and prodding, and he is able to find a path, a bit roundabout, but it's to be expected. And yeah, that's one done. Next.
Well, Ivana is going to look to see if she can ascertain where perhaps animals have gone. They often will take the path of least resistance and the easiest path they can find through an area. So she is going to use her knowledge of nature, which is surprisingly high given her low survival skills. She is quite well versed in nature. So I'll make a nature roll to see if she can follow the game trails.
Okay.
That is a 13 total.
Sure. You start following some trails, and it seems to be some kind of lizard of some such or whatnot. And you do a couple times follow that right into deep water.
Oh,
and then
shit.
you look up and see that
God damn it, I'm soaked.
There's no path anymore. You kind of reached a dead end. So you have to backtrack a bit and find another one. And sure enough, you'll catch another deeper spot lost and then catch the trail again.
Ah, fuck it. And she just kind of starts splashing right through the muck. She gets so frustrated. She just...
Hey, the little one here can't, and he's pointing to Ashley's character. You might want to make sure that she can get through.
You're about the same height, just a few inches taller.
Not in my mind.
Maybe no, yeah, just
in his mind, he's a mountain of a man.
Yeah,
I am.
Krag, Kalfina.
All right, Krag is going to go ahead and looking at some of the areas where the path isn't a path anymore. And so that's where I come into play sometimes, where I'm like, I got to move that tree over this way. I got to maybe push some things aside, or use my staff to just go through a bunch of brambles. It's because like it will take us who knows how long to go around this bramble patch. We just got to push through. So that's how I'm going to help out.
And what'd you get?
Oh, it would help if I rolled, huh? And 15.
Okay. Some of those deep spots that Ivana found, you do see that just beyond that is the path does continue, but rather than trying to swim across, you are able to kind of essentially pole vault yourself and assist others in reaching across, and you find logs to push back so that you're able to continue along the path and keep moving at a relatively quick pace. Kalfina?
All right. Kalfina is going to cast guidance on herself.
All right.
And then she's going to use her survival to find anything that looks extremely dangerous and then avoid it.
Oh, and we still have the Sliss advantage to give one person. Nobody's used it yet.
Correct.
Hold on. Oh, it's only a 1 for my guidance, but yeah, a total of 7. That was terrible.
Is that with advantage?
No, not with advantage.
Useless advantage.
You could
Okay.
use list advantage.
No one else has used it, so
Yeah, with a
Oof,
total of
what?
7.
Like, well, 8 with my guidance.
Woo! There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
So
how
hey,
it's
look,
done.
we're back at the camp.
You know, as you're keeping an eye out, and again, the marshes are strangely void of anything moving. You hear some insects buzzing off in the distance, maybe some birds. You don't see much.
Yeah, joke's on
And-
me. Everything's dangerous.
And as you
What are we in Australia?
kind of wet Australia,
Ugh.
as you are kind of following this path, and it is smooth. It's this relatively simple path, again, curving around Slithk a bit and tracking back and forth, but you haven't seen a path this smooth for a little while. And it's at that time that you do start to hear something surprisingly close to you as you've reached this larger area of relatively shallow water, and you hear kind of a bubbling, slopping kind of sucking noise.
Ooh,
As
gross.
I'm just gonna like smack the ground a couple times with my warhammer.
as you do that, something seems to kind of answer. And
Oh.
as you look off to the side, rising up from the water is just a mass of vines and what look like bones and twigs, and this form ever sloughs off water but never truly dries. And
Ew.
what you can only assume from the rest of you, from your teachings and talkings about what might be out here, it seems like you may have stumbled upon a shambling mound.
Oh, for God's sakes. All right.
Can you all please roll initiative?
Let's do this. I got a 7.
Oh, now I roll good.
19.
Great.
I got an 8. Although I'm used to single digits.
11 for Ivana.
All right, let's see. We're gonna go here. Pardon me while I quick prep this. Let's see. All of you would have been relatively close to each other. Oops. All right, let's see. Do I have a good? I'm just going to kind of throw you guys here, assuming on your standard, we'll say operating procedure, your path that you had been walking previously. Here, let's move you guys. There we go. All right. Assuming that Kalfina was up in front during this, Sathatir, Krag, you're probably relatively close to her. Telerak is still in back, observing, though also being a point of strength in this. Ivana, I'm assuming that you're kind of staying in the middle. Sound about accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. It is getting close to that time. Why don't we try to see a little bit of combat before we do end up taking a break? Actually, I can write this out quick. Kalfina, despite this strange shape that rises up, you do seem, as I'm sure you are, relatively eager. And thinking back during what occurred yesterday, this kind of seems to be like what Orland, when he had chased into the marsh, you saw something that looked pretty close to something, a creature like this.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not it is the same or is different,
Oh yeah, that's all you gotta say. Oh, you
You don't
Big-
know what's going through
what-
her little brain.
Ooh, yeah.
Kalfina, what would you like to do? If this is a combat, you're more than willing to attempt to flee if you want, or attack. It is up to you, but it does seem unnatural.
The first thing I will do is I will grab my holy symbol around my neck, and I will say, by the light of Kesis, we shall be protected. And I cast Bless on everybody.
Hey, thank you.
So that is the first thing.
I think you get it for 3 people, right?
Let me see.
Yeah.
All right, I press the button and it says cast Bless in spell slot level 1. Did it actually do anything?
It doesn't actually update anyone else. You just need to go to your spells and read what it can do.
Okay. Up to 3 creatures of your choice within range. And it is a concentration up to a minute.
So
Okay,
which 3 would you like to cast bless upon?
You know what? I'll make friends. I'll cast Bless on my 3 new compatriots here. I don't know how weak they are.
Okay.
Don't cast it on Telerex. He won't do anything.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Yeah, not on the guide.
The guide was worthless last time.
Sure.
And then I will use my bonus action and say, Kesis, witness me! And I will just wail on this thing with my Warhammer. With my special ability of getting to attack twice.
Sure. Go for it.
It's not very good. It's a 12. But I am enthusiastic.
It is a little strange being as not nearly as solid as you would expect. I mean, it is quite solid, but no vital points, and you actually doesn't seem to really be affected at all by your attack.
Guys, this thing is made of grass.
Do we see where it is?
Sorry, yeah. It kind of looks on the map. It kind of looks like all the other trees. It is this guy here.
Ah, thank you.
Right there. And that's what I'll do.
Okay. It actually is going to go next. Nothing too untoward, except it will step further out away from the water and attempt to attack Kalfina, who so lovingly walked up to it. So it's going to get 2 attacks on you.
Okay.
For an 11.
Nope.
And a 26.
That one does. Yes.
Oof.
This guy hits surprisingly hard. For 10 points of damage.
Okay.
It is not a much of a hunter, so it is happy to stay still and stay where it is. So we will move on to Krag. You are next up.
Oh,
You just hear, ow!
right. So knowing that, so I'm going to go up, and I kind of know that staying close to each other is a good thing. Well, except for Ivana. She shouldn't get close.
No.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I have messed up. Ivana, you are up.
Okay, I was surprised.
Sorry
I
about
was
that.
before Ivana. Cool.
I'm gonna get really close to Krag. Just kidding. Why are we attacking this thing? And she's gonna move in the middle of this rise or this clearing, and she is going to cast Firebolt. Firebolt. That'll be a 12 to hit.
That misses.
All right.
Seeing that a little too close to maybe Calafina, maybe its weird shape kind of took you by surprise, and your shot is a little bit wide.
Yeah. And she's going to back off. That's my turn.
Just a quick note. I need to roll a con save for the bless.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Are we all blessed?
You three
you-
are.
Yeah, you were
yes.
blessed.
So
You're
I
still
should get a D4 to that
Oh,
roll.
there you go.
correct?
Yep.
Please add a d4 to that.
Okay.
Good reminder.
Nice. Way to keep that blessed.
12. 14 is what it ends up being.
That's still a miss,
Okay.
unfortunately.
That's all right.
You are able to keep bless up, Calfina. All right, now Krag.
All right, now I will go ahead and move in. And I'm going to cast Divine Favor. So that my attacks will get an additional D4 of
Okay.
radiant damage.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
a bonus action, so I'm only going to make one attack. And I shall smack it across. Actually, first shot's going to be a strike right into the midsection. That seems like the way to do it. And 22 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Yeah. For 7 plus another D4. For 7 points of bludgeoning and 2 points of radiant damage. And that is what I have.
All right, it definitely, surprisingly, seems a little. I mean, you cleave off a decent chunk of it. We'll say it as that. You're very surprised at it. Something this strange, you wouldn't expect it. Sathatir.
I'm going to move right here, giving myself advantage because I am now flanking.
Mhm.
And I'm going to roll my 2 hit with my Warhammer. That would be a critical.
There you go.
Nice.
$14 points of damage.
Yeah, it seems to definitely shake at that and give a strange kind of warbling growl, as it were. Anything else?
No, I'm just going to just stand there and be at the ready.
Next up will actually be Telerak, and for the rest of you, this is we'll call it a bit of surprise. For he never really did a whole lot on the previous fights, but that seemed to all be under the trials, and now being out in the Decayed Marshes does not seem a good time to continue testing you all. And he'll actually step forward and raise his battle axe that he had been carrying the entire time, and is going to make his strikes against it. I'll just roll those quick to see what we all do. He'll easily hit both. I won't go too much into it, but 2 quick swaths of his axe again leave a few extra chunks on the ground as it kind of seems to shiver and shake a little bit at that. But then Calfina, we're going to circle right back to you quickly.
Let's see. All right. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bonus action try to attack this thing. 24.
That definitely
was-
hits.
Oh, it was a natural
Nice.
20.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Nice.
Hold
Yeah.
on a second. Okay.
That was.
Yep. All right. So that is crit. So hit and then. Okay, so that is 15.
Nice.
And then how do you do crits? Do I double it?
No,
Or-
that doubled it
It
itself.
did.
Yeah, I think it
Oh,
was
did
all
it?
in there. D&D
Yeah.
Beyond does it pretty well.
Do we?
Okay.
We don't get plus D4 for bless on damage, right? It's just on 2 hits and saving.
Correct. That's wait, I did my math wrong.
Math.
That was a hearty hit.
That was just my bonus action.
Oh geez. All right,
Is it
continue.
still upright?
It is still up, but it is not looking good.
Oh man. Well, since I didn't take it down with that, I'm gonna quick cast a healing spell on a cure wounds on myself.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll take 9 points of healing. All right,
That it?
that is it.
I think a probably another strike against you after that critical. And then at the same time, it's very strange, what seems like it's focus on Calfina, a second strike kind of out of the strange amorphous form comes straight back and it's going to attack Cyrenthe at the same time.
Ooh.
But first we'll check out Calfina's strike, which I think you're okay with a natural 1.
Yay!
Cyrenthe for a 15 to hit.
You gotta beat an 18, buddy.
All right. That is it. It is not looking very well at all. But Ivana, you're up.
All right. Ivana's going to move in a little bit, get a good angle, and fire off a chaos bolt. Going ahead and twinning that for the double whammy. So I get to roll twice. This time it's going to be 17 and an 18 to hit.
Both of those hit.
Okay. So the
And I
first one-
believe Chaos Bolt, you roll 2d8 and choose which one you actually want to use, right?
Yep.
right.
2d8. I'm going to do the damage on the first one first.
Okay.
That is going to be a total of 13 damage. And that will be lightning damage.
Okay.
And then the second one is going to be 12 damage, and that will be force damage.
I was hoping for fire or ice.
I was hoping for fire as well.
So what's strange in this attack that you have done? Chaos Bolt is not terribly strange in what you've done before. That's not what's weird. What's strange is one side struck with lightning, the other side struck with force. And instead of both sides kind of shrinking and under the impact, the side that got struck with the lightning almost kind of seemed to be pushed off and absorbed to that side, where it seemed to seem a little bit stronger. But luckily your second attack came in and did seem to strike it all the same and did end up injuring it a bit as well.
Okay.
Did it just eat your lightning?
I think
Oh.
so.
Anything else?
No.
Krag, you are up.
I see that lightning seem to bolster it a little bit. I kind of think about Audrey, and I'm like, that seems strange to bless a creature like this with your power, and then I'll go ahead and take my look at my staff, and I'm like, well, this seemed to work last time, and I'm going to go ahead and strike it again across the. I'm going for the neck this time. Well, I suppose it's really tall, but I'm kind of going for that. All right.
You know where the neck is?
That's why I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, because it's like a big mound. So yeah, I guess I'm hitting it up, and I'm planning on coming across with an uppercut after that. So we'll see what happens.
Punch up.
Let me cast or use my bless. Make this a little better. Oh, 13 to hit.
That is a miss.
Yep. Then I'll go ahead and then I'll but I will go ahead. I'll smack it. It's just it just doesn't do anything, or because I can't imagine I could really miss something this big. But then I'll just go ahead and do that again, and I'll be like, well, that didn't work, and I'm gonna try my bring it over and try the thrust into the middle again. I'm not gonna say the abdomen. I'll say the middle.
All right.
Of the creature, and 21 to hit.
That does hit.
And that will be for 5 bludgeoning and another 1. So 5 bludgeoning and 1 radiant.
Okay. Anything else?
And I'll look at this thing and be like, that's my turn.
On your thrust, your second attack, when you thrust it through the center of it, it has itself been a bit essentially it's like sticking your staff into the bog and into the marsh, but this time does seem to strike something a bit firmer inside. Cyrenthe, you're up.
Well, let's see if we can't smash this salad. Not with those rolls.
With your D4?
Gotta add a D4. No.
Oops.
14 to hit.
It does not. That strike with the Warhammer just doesn't seem to have any effect against it.
Splat. All right.
Anything else?
Action surge.
Okay.
Yes, there we go.
Gotta mark it off. Gotta do this.
I can see Telerax just like jotting notes in between his punching.
Why?
They keep missing. They keep missing.
22 to hit.
That does it.
I almost got a nat 20 again. 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Stay down, you lump of mulch.
Again, another strike on it. Definitely seems like it is not doing very well. Telerak going up and will, I guess nothing terribly strange again. Won't push past you or anything, but he'll try to make his strikes as he does. And surprisingly, you're all kind of ganging up on it, and it's hard to get in a decent attack, and misses on both of his strikes. Kalfina, your turn.
Okay. I will just wind up and hit it with my Warhammer for a 19.
That does hit.
For 7 damage.
As you, well, you know what? As you make this strike, how do you want to do this?
Nice.
I would like to wind up with my hammer and just like pop the top of the haystack off.
So, being at your stature, it probably has a nice little flourishing jump in this strike, and sure enough, it surprisingly comes off very easily from what you were expecting. But as you land and prepare a second strike, you kind of see the rest of the mound just start to kind of sink and sag like when it had first grown. But now all that water recedes and the grass settles and stops moving as the shambling mound seems to fall apart.
Yeah, that's right. Step down.
as you're standing around kind of looking at it, the Telerex is a little surprised at how easily you all took it down. Again, more high praise and marks in all your favor.
Well, it did take 5 of us to take out a bush.
That was no ordinary bush, though. That was a really hard, really tough bush. I mean,
they are known for taking unsuspecting wanderers and dragging them off to the depths, and so they are quite a formidable beast. But you do seem to be very excited about fighting it. So well done.
I was curious how it seemed to almost absorb that lightning energy from my casting. That is something I'll have to keep note of for next time. Are these quite common, Telerex?
I'm sure they're more common within the marsh, but encounters with them are relatively rare. They're not very fast. They're more ambush hunters. They can be very deadly, but you have to get close enough to them to, I guess, elicit the response.
Is everyone okay? Is anyone hurt?
Oh, I saw our new friend here take some damage at the beginning, but I don't know how you doing now.
Well, I healed myself up most of the way because, like one of those hits was like half of me. But, then it didn't hit me again, so maybe I should have waited.
Anyone else? Sathatir, are you injured? Krag?
No, I'm just fine. It missed me on all of its attacks.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Kalfina,
So
do you think we should take a short break here to rest, perhaps, before we push on?
I don't know. Do you think it's safe?
And I'm gonna eye those other haystacks that are on this island.
So the rest of those marks on the map are actually trees. They're kind of scraggly and a little thinner, but they are trees.
I'm gonna walk up to one and knock on it with my just kind of make sure that none of them move.
We're attacked by Ents.
Nothing seems to move. It seems to be a safe enough place. Why don't we take a quick little bathroom break, a little bio break, and we can chat about if there's anything else you guys want to do, and then we'll continue on.
All right, cool.
Awesome. We'll be back in 5. we are back, everybody. Welcome back to the Superior Adventures Guild. Tonight we're playing Monday Night Mayhem with DM Taithalonos running us through his cool homebrewed world. Very fun. We haven't died yet, so that bodes well, but we'll see what happens. There's still time. So back to you, DM Taithalonos. Take it away, sir.
Oh, great. I guess one notion to check in with the party. Did you want to take a long rest? You want to keep moving?
Probably not
What's
a
the
lot.
thoughts there?
Is it middle of the day or?
You're still looking, maybe late afternoon.
I'll keep pushing on.
Well, the question Seth sure would have is, our two finger wigglers, do we have, are we still feeling that we're at a decent strength? Do we want to get you back up to full ability?
Is there like a good place to camp nearby, or are we gonna camp in the middle of like an island of shambling bog creatures?
Where you are now seems to be a larger, I guess, a shallower portion of the bog, of the marsh. Just seems to be a fine point where the shambling mound had been hiding. There are some larger islands that do seem relatively dry. You do find a few that are kind of false islands that you think that one looked really good. And as you start to put weight on it, you start to fall through, and okay, maybe not that one, but you could find a decent enough place if you would care to try to get a long rest in. It is up to the party.
I mean, it would be nice, but
Oh boy.
what do you think?
Fantasy Animal Vegan just gave you 5 advantages, Tyler, for a TPK maximization.
Okay, in that case, let's take a long rest.
And
Yep, long rest time.
Brett, we lost your video. Come back to us.
Can you hear me at all?
We can hear you, but we cannot see you. Oh, thank you, Fantasy Animal Vegan. All the players get one as well. That's that should help. Thank you so much for the support.
Yeah, we'll just give Krag a hot second to see if he can fix it. Well, I guess during this we can at least talk about it. Yeah.
He can hear us.
I mean, it is getting to that point. It's a little early, but it is something you could take a break, or you could try to push on a little bit further.
If you're injured, Kelfina, perhaps it would be good for us to take a break. It appears as though night will be here soon. There's no shame in taking an earlier rest.
I mean, it would be nice to get some of, my healing spell slots back.
What's a spell slot?
Well, I call them slots because in my brain it's like I have 1, 2, 3. But like spell ability things.
That's a good way to keep track of them, though.
What's our lizard say?
A talk of a rest seems to, wouldn't say agitate Slith, but he is well, it's at the pace we're going, it might be, another 40, quarter of an hour, or 3/4 of an hour, maybe an hour to get there. So we're close, but we could rest if that is what you want. Telerak is kind of, he doesn't mind pushing on, but also kind of is going to take this opportunity to listen to the newcomers to kind of get their ideas, and again, more strategy working with them to see what they say. So it's up to the group. What would you like to do?
If we're taking on someone that can bring back the dead, I want all of us to be at our best. I know I've used a lot of my endurance this day, so it would be nice to get that back. I say we rest.
I say we rest too. I mean, we're not
agree.
under like duress. Like we don't have like kidnapped people or like have
No,
to
it's
make
just dead
dinner or
bodies.
something.
Well, we will have to make dinner, to be fair. I am very hungry, but
We've
we
got a
do know
salad
what
right
is
over there.
we do know what the danger is here. We can see from here. We don't know what the danger is out there, and we are already somewhat fatigued. It would only be prudent. She looks over at Talarax to kind of see if he has any response to stay here and rest.
It does not. If that is what we wish, then that should be just fine.
First watch.
So you quick set up camp. Knowing how close you are, you might be a little more cautious and quiet. I guess no rambunctious yelling, but beyond that, talking and standard, standard conversation should be just fine, and you're not too worried about being overheard. Yeah, why don't we decide on watch quick?
Fantasy Animal Vegan is attempting to cash in those advantages that she gave to get random encounters during the long rest.
Maybe
But
not this one.
I've
Yes,
got first watch.
You can save that one, Fantasy Animal, for another
Sorry,
one.
Final Seven. Thanks for trying. It might be a little too much for my new DM brain.
It's all right. We'll get there eventually.
He'll kill us in his own time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the something special might be coming, and we can blame it on Fantasy Animal Vegan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess who would like to be up for first watch?
That's me.
Okay.
You
well,
can
I mean, we
join
can
me.
do two. Yep, that's just fine.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Just me.
Okay.
I'd enjoy another person of our stature.
Giants of men.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So you got, or do you want us to roll our perception checks?
Sure. Roll perception. Feel free to chat while you do it.
So you made them let you out for
22.
how did you get them to let you out into the
Well,
swamp?
for some reason, I just start talking and people just let me do whatever I want. Just kind of like shove me off to the side. They say, fine, whatever. I'm really persuasive.
I can tell. So that game I was talking about. So what you do is you have 5 dice, and you want to roll a 6, a 5, and a 4.
And we're going to cut ahead. Kalfina, I guess your quick reaction to being taught this. Interested at all? Not really. Passing the time?
Yeah, I'm keeping a pretty good perception on like what's going on, but like I'll throw some dice.
Okay. During this time, seemed to pass. Most part of your watch seems to pass just fine. And then, so what was the perception checks?
22.
4.
4. Okay. Kalfina, you notice at first the whole area has been bathed in a near full moon of Nylir, the blue moon. And it starts to get a bit darker. You don't really think anything of it. You happen to look up to see if a passing cloud is blocking your view. And that's when you notice that it's not a cloud that starts blocking Nylir. That's when you notice that Cielo, the black moon, the void in the sky where the third moon once sat, seems to be starting to step in front of Nylir and take away some of your light. Oh, and now we lost Brett.
That's right. We're working on some
All
tech
right.
stuff behind the scenes.
Sounds good.
You just keep going, sir.
Okay.
Oh
I
man,
guess-
we're having an eclipse. This is pretty awesome. Like you see the okay.
Yeah, that could be ill omens right there.
You think?
I'll leave-
Anytime the light goes away, it makes me a bit nervous. Especially when I'm above ground and light goes away.
I'll leave it up to you. At any point, if you ever feel like you want to go wake somebody or anything like that. But
I'll
over
cast light.
over the
So
next
Magic.
15 minutes, the sky gets darker and darker. And right where you can almost see the entirety of CLL blocking Nylir, you have a moment of near total darkness, and you barely see a bit of white light coming from Letha, the white moon, before the sky is brilliantly lit up in a strange purple light. And when you look up at the moons, you see that it is a black hole within or in front of the blue moon, which is now a shocking purple that has lit up the entirety of possibly the whole country.
All right, time to wake up the finger wiggler. I go over to Ivana and shake her awake.
Yes,
And
what is
then-
it?
What's this?
Oh shit.
I mean, it's really
She-
cool, right?
Pulls her cloak on, gathers her things. What
Oh,
Ty, what
shit.
do I know about this?
It's not terribly unheard of. The Black Moon is a bit of a fast wanderer and does eclipse the other moons, but it's a little more chaotic. It's more on like a 17-year cycle. It's a little odd. A couple times a year, it could be in the right path, but it has to be in the right place at the right time. And as it is, it just kind of sneaks up on you because it's what it is. Who
Is
knows?
there anything
no,
in
don't like it.
the annals of history or arcana that would suggest that strange things happen when the black moon eclipses the others?
It's never a good portent whether or not something actually occurs, but it is definitely out there.
I would say she is probably Yep, she is very superstitious about it. So she explains all of this to the party and suggests that they remain extremely vigilant through the night.
Let's wake them all up and move. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Let's move. I need to know.
Moving
Move
through the
now.
dark could be more dangerous than just remaining vigilant here.
Just so you know, the light is pretty bright. Like it's not like a sunlight, but it'd be navigable if you so choose to move on, or if you stay sitting safe. Either way, there's quite a decent amount of light.
Nothing good ever happens in these purple lights. Nothing at all good.
On that, we can agree.
Fine, go back to sleep then.
You woke
At this
me
point,
up.
you're probably close enough that you could
I'm up
switch
now.
watch if you want, or it's up to you guys.
Okay, I've had enough historic time, so I'll just go back to sleep. Just roll over.
Okay.
Sweet dreams.
Enjoy the eclipse.
So second watch. Anyone?
Ivana
care
will be
to-
on the second watch for sure.
I'll get up for it.
Okay.
Bethatir is having a hard time calming down. He lost some stuff on a purple moon.
You know that this usually eclipse only lasts about an hour.
Right.
So if you want to try to stay awake a little bit longer, you can try to do that if you want.
I'm gonna do that.
I'll go back to sleep for another hour.
Would Sathatir's agitation be pretty obvious to Ivana? Would you say? All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna use this spell in a little bit different way. I'm gonna cast Charm Person on Sathatir, but not in a way of like trying to like win him over on anything other than to like calm him down and to like tell a story of the moons and the celestial movements that she's aware of, perhaps embellishing some things, but using the spell to try to calm him a little bit and give him a bit of solace in what's going on, knowing that he's pretty agitated. And she also heard a little bit of the history of him when they had talked earlier with one of the officials.
Yep.
I can't remember. So she's kind of got a little insight. So she's going to try to use that to calm him down a little bit.
That seems like a great use of that spell. And actually, I'll give you one of Fantasy Animal Vegan's advantages for that, because that was really cool.
Awesome. I am not going to resist, so I'm not going to roll the saving throw because it allows for a decent role play moment. Sathatir, who you've seen be basically this gruff, tough and tumble warrior, with the spell hitting him, breaks down in racking sobs.
Oh, there. Sathatir, let it out. You've been carrying this burden for so long. It's okay. And then she's just kind of silent.
And he says, they're all gone. I wasn't strong enough then. They're all gone. And does the eclipse pass?
The eclipse nears its end, and as you're kind of staring around up at the moon, seeing it start to reach the far side of Nylir, a purple light not coming down from the moons, but actually towards the north. You see a strange, essentially it's almost a continuation of the moon. You see a black streak wreathed in purple flash towards your north, up towards the moons. And as you see this strange sight, you kind of blink. You're back in darkness as Nylir has begun its transition past, or CLL has begun its transition past Nylir. Why don't you both give me a perception check?
14. Did you see that light? Did you see
6.
that light? Sathatir, was that another signal light, or was it something different? Oh, you missed it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all.
Here, and she'll pull out a tissue and hand it to him. She's got like a handkerchief that she hands to him.
Ivana, while passing that, you look up at the moons and you watch the transition for this next 15 minutes. And you notice something different on the moon. There's a black scar on Nylir that is left in the wake of CLL. And as it passes, the night continues to get brighter again under the blue light of Nylir before the eclipse is beyond you. Nothing else occurs during your watch. And I don't know, would you like to wake anyone else up for the third?
What do you think we should do, Sathatir?
Wake up the Dragonborn.
Yes, okay. Telerak, it's your turn
What?
for the watch. There's been weird celestial activity, but we've got it under control. Nothing to worry about. but we need rest.
All right. Takes the watch. You two are able to take your rest. Everyone can take a long rest. Yeah, that is it for the evening. You wake up in the morning, and I'm assuming the eclipse was on everyone's tongue. Talarak would, maybe hear about it, then question you a bit if anything strange occurred, but is not too worried since nothing seemed to have woken him up for a fight or anything.
I mean, it was probably nothing. It's just a historical event that happens every 17 years or so.
Well, you could have at least woken me for something like that.
Oh, I mean, I thought, weren't you waking up everybody? Is that the tier?
No, I just woke up the finger wiggler.
Oh. Sorry.
And we will continue on with breakfast. Nothing major. You push ahead the last bit to the hut. Krag and Dave, Ivana, please just roll a d20. This will be for Telerak to see on his bit of skill check.
3.
I rolled an 8.
He's very good.
Even with his knowledge of the swamps and more assistance from a new day with Slith, the last 40 minutes is not easy. You all are a little bit sweaty, a little bit more tired than you would have expected this early in the morning, but it might just be the marsh dampness around you.
Ty, would it be safe to say that we had a long rest?
Yes, you did. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I have the longest rest because I got up for a few minutes and then I said, hey, I'm going to go back down for another hour while Savitir is freaking out. And then nobody woke me up again. So,
Nice.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Take
Nice,
it where
great
you can
rest
get
in
it.
this. Yep. So moving on to the hut. You travel the last little bit before Slith kind of calls you. Quiet. Well, we're here. And off in the distance, you can see faintly looks like what once was a hut without a roof. You can see that off to the sides is a pile of thatch and roofing materials. But what really catches your eye is a strange, I wouldn't say writhing, but a darkness that encompasses the structure. Slightly moving, but not menacing in any way. And standing,
Normal.
it is nothing like nothing anyone has ever seen. Standing on the stoop, facing in, are two hulking but withered creatures, unmoving. Almost seems like half covered in darkness and not burned, but strange.
How far away? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
100 feet maybe.
Okay.
We'll fast track it a little bit, but you can perceive, you can look around. There's no movement inside of any person or any creature other than the slight shifting and wavering of the area around the hut and even the hut itself. As you get closer, you can actually see a third figure is inside. Maybe a little not as withered as the other two figures out front, but they are there hunched over a book, and this book is still seemingly floating in midair. What would you like to do?
Did you say a floating book?
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit.
I want to point my staff a little forward and do a divine sense to see if I detect evil presence.
Let me check.
Hey, Slithic, is this the lady that you said didn't have a name anymore?
This is her hut, but I don't know if it is her.
Right. Well, we'll take care of that then.
Krag,
War
your
hammer, shield.
divine sense. It looks like you can check celestial fiend and undead. You get a
Oh,
strange,
yeah.
a strange pull. It's not even like the normal sense. It's a little tickle in the back of your mind that it's strangely celestial and not even undead or fiendish, but odd in all the same ways. Not pointing to anything in particular, but to the entirety of that area. And as close as you are, you may have like poked your staff into that murkiness, and it comes out unscathed and seems to be normal. Just very odd terrain and odd structure.
So yeah, so a little celestial, no fiend or undead, but then something else that I can't quite put my
something
odd.
strange. Yep.
What do you sense, Krag?
You think it can bleed?
Well, it's something celestial which normally isn't there to harm us, but there's something else with it as well. So maybe something's twisted, but I'm not necessarily sure it's something evil.
Is there anything anyone would like to do?
I'm gonna start going up towards those withered figures.
As you step into that darkness, you do have to cross that threshold before you could get to them.
It's fine.
When you step in, nothing happens. You poke it, you prod it, you try to scoop some of it away into the rest of the sunlight, and nothing. It comes out looking normal. It seems normal as it is, but when you step inside, that's when things start to, I guess, a little weird. You start to hear voices. Well, a voice in Dwarvish, Draconic, Elvish, a gravelly, broken sound of mountains falling, the gentle ringing of angelic noises. All you hear is, "What? I fail, wrong, alone, close." It seems to repeat all those in every language you've known and languages you don't know.
Give it to me one more time because I couldn't.
Why time, fail, wrong, alone, close. Anyone else who cares to venture in as well, you hear the same thing.
Yep.
Again, languages known, unknown.
And now that we're closer to these figures,
they look like half burned, half darkness enveloped lizard folk. They're carrying very large shields with them.
I
But
would like
they're continue.
to ritually cast detect magic while we're exploring this
Sure.
to find out what type of magic it is.
I think ritual casting is going to take a few minutes.
Right. That's what
So
I'll be working on
perfect.
in the side.
While everyone else is kind of go
Ivana,
ahead.
I was going to say Ivana will see Kalfina doing this ritual casting, knowing what that means. She'll kind of stand watch over her companion.
Slisk is in the background, like really agitated and kind of like shifting back and forth. He does not want to go into the darkness. Tarak will join you guys inside, but the two lizardmen out front are very kind of emaciated and withered. Does anyone deign to go inside the hut, or do you continue to wait for Kalfina to finish her spell?
I'm going in.
Yeah, I'll step in the hut, but I'm also like, don't just strike out right away, Seth. It's here. Hold on, something's odd. I agree. Something's wrong. I agree.
I'll be in the doorway, kind of around the stoop, like trying to figure out what this is.
Where's this book?
Yeah, so in the center of the hut, it's a 40 by 40 foot hut. It's very, very large, but it's all one floor, very simply made. Just there in the center is the book sitting there and the other figure. And as you get close to the other figure, does not look as emaciated and thin as the others, but it's hard to even tell the features of their face anymore. They're so writhed in that darkness. Nothing moves, nothing shifts. Sound is all but gone, save for the whispers in your ears. And they're hanging still, strangely, is a book, open, hovering. Kalfina, you do finish your detect magic spell.
Oh yeah.
First glance around, you see around everywhere is definitely magic.
What?
Normally you can kind of tell what school of magic it comes from. This is all colors and none. And you have never seen anything like this. But wherever you look around, when you look outside, on the corner of your vision, towards the inner of the hut, you see more light, more magic coming from within. And if you try to look towards the book, it is near blinding to look at. Anybody else?
I'll slowly walk in and kind of just scan the whole room.
Nothing. It's the room is strange. You expect to see a plate here, a pot there, and as you kind of go to inspect it, it almost feels like it's two-dimensional, and you reach in and pull from the darkness a decayed and crusted plate, or the table seems to be ready to fall apart at a moment's notice.
Man, how old are these plates? They're just falling apart.
Thanks, Cardman.
Just like kind of crumbles on the side.
Ugh.
Oh, that is gross.
Is it possible to use my staff to like see if I can just kind of nudge a book and see if it'll close?
Do you the floating book?
Yeah.
Sure. As you push your staff against the book to try to close it, nothing. It stays in place. It does not want to close, even though it's just hanging there. But what does happen is the emaciated figure standing over the book snaps down and grabs your staff, your quarterstaff, and turns towards you with a creaking, dusty kind of twist as its mouth opens and opens and opens.
And I told the dwarf not to poke the bear.
Yeah, and everyone roll initiative.
Yes.
I was gonna say I was gonna hit the book and you do poke. Oh, fine. Initiative. I'm gonna have to change dice.
It's time to fight. Fight for your lives.
Ooh,
I rolled a
18.
natural or 1.
I mean, it's really freaky.
That's a total of 4.
Okay, I got a 4 for Ivana. Sathatir?
15.
Krag.
18.
Kalfina.
15.
Oh, good story moment. Nice. Got lucky there. Yeah, not so much there.
Oh, hot.
So if everyone would look at the map right now, we just need to add a couple players on here now. Sorry. I didn't have this one prepped exactly.
No worries.
Oh,
yeah.
In a hat.
These two down
No
here
problem.
were kind of near the front door. You'll see this one in the center here is should be the shaman. Krag, you are going to be right here because of the poking the book. Everyone else, whereabouts might you be in this room when this occurred?
Crap. Probably over
don't
by
know.
Calafina.
Yeah.
Where were you ritually casting?
I ritually cast it and then I walked around with
got
it,
it. All right.
you know,
Yep.
to try to like look around. But I did go over to some kind of shelf and pick up a plate.
I think, yeah, Ivana would have been over looking at the book. That would have attracted her right away. So she's probably
Okay.
right there.
Then I would be
Um,
one over looking at a bookshelf.
It's a good time for this one. So, obviously, we are entering into combat, but the two figures out front seem to stretch their mouths into a scream, a yell, an unknown, silent
Nope.
yell as they too seem to, from a darkness that you couldn't see on them before, they pull out each a heavy and large sword.
Oh,
Along with
great.
they ready a shield of darkness in front of them. But first it is the shaman, the creature that was standing over the book, is none too pleased to be awoken or moved or someone interacting with what she did here last night during the eclipse, and will strike out at Krag. Let's see these guys.
I'm sorry.
While holding your staff in its one hand, will rake down with its claw and then go to strike with its mouth as well at the same time.
Hmm.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to think. For the protection and the interception, do you have to call those out before I roll?
No, it's after it hits. However, I can't do it on myself.
Protection.
Protection's the same way. I can impose a disadvantage, and
After a
I'm going to do that
Oh.
on this creature right now.
Okay, the claw or the bite.
It's on both. Hang on, I'm going to double check, but I
think it's
believe
only
it's
the
on
bite.
everything.
I think it's only one of them. but I could be
One
wrong.
attack, I believe.
While wielding a shield, and a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
Yeah, so you'll have to
So,
use your reaction, so you only get one.
I'm going to say on the bite that we're going to impose disadvantage. I'm worried about poison.
Because this is near the end of the night, and I got to make sure Fantasy Animal Vegan gets their pulls worth. And did they give both of them? I think what I had last night, and I had.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
From
All right.
last
Yeah,
week and
yeah.
this
All
week
right.
you got
I'm
it.
gonna
Hit
go
us
one at
hard.
advantage. You
Hit
said
us
which
hard,
one?
buddy.
Claw or the bite?
The bite.
Okay,
Don't
so
hold
claw
back.
I'm worried
first.
about poison on him.
Gotcha. That's a 16 plus 6. You're talking a 22 to hit on the claw
That'll hit.
for only 5 points of damage. A straight roll. Hey, you know what? Let me give you that really nice blue dice that was rolling really well. Let me get that one.
No, not the blue dice.
No.
Ooh, that's a 19 plus a 6. So the bite,
Did you roll at disadvantage for the
I
bite?
used 2 advantages to make sure that it'd be a straight shot.
Nice.
Oh, dang it. Just another 5. One's on both of those for
I'm
damage.
bloodied.
Good to hear. All right, that is it for their turn. They do seem to come alive and are none too pleased that you all are here. Krag, you are next up. What would you like to do?
Changes when you lose half your
Holy
hit
smite.
points before you go.
Holy
I
smite.
recommend you kick some ass, Craig.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and try to smack it. Now do I have to like use an action or something to try to pull my quarterstaff away?
You're
or-
able to free it from its
Okay.
grasp. It was a little more interested in attacking you, so you are quite all right there.
I just wanted to make sure. So yeah, I'm gonna take this thing and, especially the bite, I'm hitting it up on the jaw with the staff to bring it right up and right underneath it. 21.
That does hit.
That'll be 7 points of bludgeoning. And yeah, I'm gonna go and throw I don't know what this thing is, but I'm gonna throw a divine smite into it. It's not undead or a fiend, you said, right?
Correct.
So it'll just be another 2d8. 8 points of radiant damage in addition to that.
That radiant damage from Audrain that you know that you have been following for some time brings with it a bright light that does not seem to hold as much power against this creature as you would expect.
Uh-oh.
That's bad.
Uh-oh.
All right, in
Um,
that case, let's just go with good old-fashioned wood. And I'm gonna take this iron wood and swing it around. And you know what? I like smashing things on their feet. I'm gonna go ahead and smash his foot. Oh,
Ouch.
only 11 points though.
That is a miss.
Yeah, that's I don't really see good re-maneuvering. I'm just gonna stay there and hope the best.
Stay there. I got you.
I know Sathatir and Kalfina both had the same, but Sathatir has a higher dex, so Sathatir, you're up.
Just gonna step in and swing away, boys. Swing away.
You are unable to step into that
Oh
space
crap!
because
That's
the book
right.
is there.
So then we're gonna go here,
Oh,
and we're gonna have advantage and swing
Okay.
away, boys. So I apologize. I cannot defend you.
no, I should have moved to a different spot. I didn't realize there was a book there.
That's okay. We'll get him. 16 to hit.
That is a miss.
Oh
The
shit!
Wrapped
what you
in
would
my
think
shield.
was going to hit catches in the darkness. That is very strange. You didn't expect it, but it almost seems to move of its own will.
All right. And that's all I'm going to do right now.
All right, Kalfina, you're up.
I raise my amulet in the air and I say, Kisus shall protect us! And I cast Bless
On
s- on all of my friends.
Okay.
So not me, but all my friends. So make sure you use those D4s. And
Definitely.
then I will use my bonus action to take an additional attack. And I'm going to move 5, 10, 15 to be right here and flank with Ivana. And so I can attack with advantage, please.
Okay.
That is 19 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay. And that is only 5 damage. Kapow!
Any
Anything else?
damage is good damage.
Mhm.
Yep, agreed.
That is it for right now.
Thank you for the bless.
You're welcome.
No doubt.
Seems like we need it.
Telerak will join in with the group and step in behind the creature and will make a couple strikes against it. One's not going to do anything. And 12 plus, what was it now? Sorry, gotta check. I don't think that hits as well. I think that one falls short. I think it
You
hits
need
a
to use
16
the
as
blue
well.
dice for Telerak, please.
Yeah,
Nope,
please
nope,
use the
nope,
blue dice.
nope.
for
We gotta keep them
Telerak.
separate. Gotta keep them separate.
I mean, how about those advantages from Fantasy Animal Vegan? I mean, it
Yeah.
is still you.
No, they requested TPKs, so can't do it. All right, so Telerak ends up missing both of his strikes.
Good
Ivana,
God!
it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna use advantages on both of my twinned chaos bolts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're both gonna get pumped into this. What is this creature that I'm staring at? What does it look like? Give me a little bit of inspiration.
It has a
here.
silhouette and the shape of a lizard folk,
Okay.
but is odd. It's covered in darkness, almost scarred in black, and more emaciated than a healthy lizard folk would look.
All right, I'm gonna reach out my hand, holding my staff in my other, and I'm gonna just say, "Sorry for the home invasion," and then I'm gonna fire off the first chaos bolt with advantage. Ooh, that's gonna be a 19 to hit on the first one.
That hits.
So that will be. Oh shit. That is a total of 17. Sorry, math, and we'll go. It can be either fire damage.
17 damage.
17 damage with fire.
Ooh, all right. That does seem to have your desired effect, and it is. You can't be making more darker. It almost grays out in ash color now after that fire attack,
Okay, so
but it's still standing.
my twinned bolt here coming with advantage. I'm using a second advantage here.
All right.
Natural 20.
All right.
22 psychic damage.
Okay.
Yeah, you never know.
So
How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. Well, as that second chaos bolt penetrates into the mind of this creature, its head just explodes in ash and just drifts down and kind of floats through the air as it lands back on the floor of the hut.
Via scanners.
As the head explodes, not only does the head fall in ashes, but the rest of the body starts to crumble, not as much as ash, but as a sludge, a blackness that piles upon the floor, still writhing a little, but seemingly inert. Anything else?
Is going to step away from the sludge.
Okay.
Back away slowly.
Yeah.
And then is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's more than enough.
As you're all focused on this one figure in front of you, maybe even hoping that with the fallen of what must have been the shaman, the other two out front are still moving, still aggressive.
You want some too?
And they are both going to strike the first things that they can see. So we're going to go with Krag first. Let's see. It's first going to strike you with its heavy sword as it drops down on you, and then punches forward with its shield in a quick secondary. And thinking it's just a shield, you're not as worried, but there are a pair of spikes attached to the front that you can't see in the darkness, but we'll see if they actually hit. 16 plus 4.
Yeah, that'll
So
hit.
20. Cool. That's a sword strike, and the shield is only an 11.
That will thankfully miss.
Oof.
So the sword is going to do 8 points of damage to you.
Uh-oh.
Kalfina, the other one, will do the same against you.
At disadvantage.
What's the to hit?
So they'll be striking with a sword first.
At disadvantage because she's within 5 feet of me and I can see that thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But you
Blue
can use
dice
an
coming through.
advantage
That's a
to
21.
make it
Because I am keeping up those advantages until they're gone.
nice.
And the shield bash as well. You're seeming at the right height for it.
Ooh.
21 again.
Ow! Ow!
For minimum damage. 6 total between the two. Total of 6.
All right, but I do have to do a con save.
Oh, yes.
Twice, I believe.
Twice. Yes.
Oh gosh. I would like to do the first one with advantage.
Nice.
Because
11.
That beats the 10 that you need.
Mhm.
okay, and
Woo.
then the second one, because you hit me twice. Yep, 15. So
Nice.
you guys still have your bless.
Nice.
You are good there. They seem satiated in those attacks and moving into the combat. Now to the top of the order. That pile of sludge on the ground
Oh.
Oh,
reforms, but not in the same shape. What was a emaciated lizardborn with a tail hunched over now stands a lithe, thin, tall figure, etched even deeper in that darkness and that blackness. And at this time, those voices that you have been hearing this whole time seem to get louder as she, in the shadow, seems like she's looking at all of you at once. It's not until she raises an arm that you know which way she's facing. And she will step forward to Ivana for what you have done. So she did leave a threatened square. If anybody would like, between Cyrenthe and Calfina can take an attack of opportunity if they wish.
Oh yeah, I do. I do wish.
Cafeteria, I believe you just used your reaction though.
Top of the round.
Ooh.
Oh nice.
No, it has to
Yes.
come back to your turn before you regain it.
Ah,
Regain
son of a beehive.
But I missed.
This figure looms over you, despite your height of a little over 6 feet. Is still a head taller than you, and will reach back with an arm, and long tendrils of fingers seem even longer than you would expect as she swings down to strike with you with a claw.
Pat you gently on the head and say, "Thank you for freeing me."
It is
No.
Let's be
another
best friends forever.
advantage being used.
Oh,
17 to hit.
that will indeed hit me.
I'll
It's been-
reduce it by 12, whatever
It's
it
been
is.
fun, guys. Oh,
Okay.
that's crazy.
As you come down for that strike, you try to dodge out of the way and realize there's no getting away from it
Ah!
when a quarterstaff seems to come out of the corner of your vision and strike the wrist of this creature as it misses you, or essentially it loses all force against you and just hits you on the shoulder, but the claws don't actually strike with any damage.
Wow.
Good
Nice.
job, Craig.
That is
Nice.
its turn. Krag, you are up.
I don't like the idea of being flanked, but at the same time, I'm
Take
going
a
down
5-foot
next turn.
step.
Yeah, I'm going
There's
down
no
next
such-
turn anyway. So
Okay.
I mean, he's
Um,
not leaving a threatened square.
Yeah.
yeah, I can go there, and well, I just gotta keep on trying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, are you hurt at
Perseverance.
all, Ivana? You're not hurt at all, right?
I was almost dead right there, but no, I'm fine.
Right, you're almost dead, but you actually
I'm
look like
fine.
you haven't taken.
I haven't
damage,
taken
or-
any damage.
Okay. Well, then I'll save that, and I will just. I guess I'll attack instead with my. Yeah, I'll attack with my staff and see what happens. I'm going to go for the advantage though, attacking the sludge, right? Because it got.
Yep. Catelarax on the other side. Go
I
ahead.
just realized that. I'm like, yep, let's give that a try at least. All right. 21 to hit
That hits.
for 5 bludgeoning, please.
Okay.
And then, well, I really can't hit it with my in the foot since it's like a ball of. Oh, wait, it's a tall creature again. That's right. It was sludge and it came up to be this tall and thin creature, right?
Yeah, the figure, you can't really tell what it is wearing. It almost, the way it moves almost seems like it could be a dress, or it may be in a deep robe.
Right.
But you
Probably
could
has
strike
a
where
foot.
its feet might be if you want.
I'm going for the foot.
Okay.
What I do. Bonus session attention. Why is this good? Not. 19 to hit.
That barely hits.
Oof. 7 points of bludgeoning.
Anything
And-
else?
Oh, that's what I should have done. how do you do healing potions? Bonus action or action? Actually, never mind. Can I give my free action to give a healing potion away to somebody, or is that an action? No big deal. If it's not possible,
most everybody should have a healing potion except for Calfina, and it would be a bonus action to take one.
I'm just gonna go ahead and maybe pull it out a little bit and be like, "Oh man, I can't do anything with it."
Yeah, I think if you needed to pass it off to somebody, they could take it on their own turn if you've readied it. Sure, that's fine.
I don't even know if I've readied it, but I'm just like,
but
hey,
even
look.
still, like, yeah.
Yep. I'll just point a finger to my belt pouch. I'm done.
Sathatir.
Real quick, Ty, clarification. I put a circle down on the map. Is that where the book is?
Yes.
Okay.
Sathatir's going to step right there.
Okay.
Is the book still floating in midair?
It is.
It's going to get hit by a warhammer.
Sure.
20 to hit.
It hits. Damage?
11.
It's nearly max damage for you, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
As you strike down with the book, or onto the book, again, hoping to interrupt whatever spell or thing is occurring, you strike the book and are nearly thrown back like Gimli in the Lord of the Rings. Warhammer's fine, book unmoving. But you seem to have thought you definitely hit it.
Oh, well, that's not going to do it all. Action surge.
Okay.
And this time I'm going to attack this thing.
Okay.
Are you using the D4 for bless?
I have not been, but I just rolled a 25 to hit, so. And that's 5 points of damage on this guy.
Okay. This one does not seem to have the health and stamina of the creature behind you. It seems to almost act like that shaman that you first struck, that almost was crumbling away into ash as you strike it.
Good.
I'm guessing after your action surge, that is it for you?
Yeah.
Action move, yeah. Calfina, you are up.
All right. I don't think there's a lot of space, so I guess I'll attack the enemy that is touching me.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to warhammer that guy. And you know what? Because that was not great, I am going to use my channel divinity guided strike and add a +10 to my roll. So it looks as though I don't hit, and then suddenly it's as if another something divine just grabs my hammer and bams it right into it. For 20.
Nice.
20.
Cool.
That hits.
And oh, sorry, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Yes, only 3 damage.
Okay.
Creature, but then I am going to use my War Priest feature and use my bonus action to attack again.
Okay.
But that is only a 7.
That one
Only gonna
does miss. It does intercept your strike with a shield of shadow and darkness.
Do you have advantage? Or inspiration?
I do not.
Everyone was given one at one point
I already
tonight.
used it.
Already use it? Okay. Sounds good. Anything else, Calfina?
Nope, that's it.
Telerak is up next and is going to strike at the back of this tall creature.
With advantage.
Nope. Never. Well, technically, yes. The first one will be advantage. And hits the natural 20.
Woo!
I didn't
Hey,
use the blue
done,
dice.
Finally.
The second attack, though, will not hit. For 15 points of damage. Does get one heck of a hearty strike in the back of this creature. Second attack, it was a little more prepared and seemed to have deflected the strike, but he is going to stay where he is and we're going to keep ganging up on this one. It looks like Ivana, you're up.
Ivana just barely surviving that last blow from this creature, this scarecrow-like creature, is going to sort of start backing away, trying to get out of reach of this thing.
It will, when you step away, attempt to make an attack of opportunity against you. So that strike against you, I guess I don't remember. When it was to hit, that damage was intercepted and interceded, and you did not take that damage.
Correct. But it was like at the last moment as she was looming over. So Ivana is freaked out and she's backing away.
Okay. She will make an attack of opportunity then.
Okay.
Unless you disengage as your action.
At disadvantage.
She could, if you want to.
Nope.
All
I
right.
don't.
At disadvantage for what?
Bonus action. It's making
They're
an
not
attack.
within 5 feet of you.
Nope.
The creature being attacked needs to be within 5 feet.
You're right. I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's all good.
I apologize. I thought it was set up really well.
18 to hit you.
Yes, that will hit.
For 7 points of damage as this claws of darkness seem to catch you as you try to back away.
Rakes down my back as I try to get away, and I turn in a reflex and I twin fire chaos bolts back at this individual. The first one's going to be with advantage using my last advantage. Thank you, chat. So that will be off the table. Oh, that's good. That's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
That's going to be 12. 12 thunder damage this time.
Okay.
And then the second one is going to be a 19 to hit.
That one barely hits. And continue on.
Well, I do have a D4. So
you're
add
hit,
2
so
more.
you're okay.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Thank you for the bless, Kalfina. All right, so that is going to be 8 more. We'll call it cold damage. Well, a little bit of everything.
So with those twin attacks, again, striking from either side, and first the force of thunder and cold. Again, you seem to have struck it down, or it hunches over in pain before those voices who were at a talking voice grow to a scream of the last word you hear is alone, as this creature of darkness explodes.
Uh-oh.
Everyone in this area is going to take you know what? Everyone make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
I'm going to do that with advantage.
Oh, I wish
I'm
I
gonna
had
use
one.
I'm gonna use my inspiration too to do it with advantage.
I think
think
that
I-
bless might also work on the saves. Yep, on the saving
Correct,
throw.
yep.
So take a d4.
Oh yeah, will
You're
do.
saving.
I also I learned something about this at band camp. Was it band camp where I learned this?
Boot camp, yeah.
Boot
okay.
camp. There was a gnomish warrior named Flitzbin Givroy who was teaching defensive maneuvers for area of effect spells.
Okay, so you'll get a +3.
God damn it.
Let's go down the order so I can check. Sathatir.
23.
All right.
Because I
Krag.
burnt my my inspiration.
24.
Wow. All right, Kalfina.
11.
Okay.
Oh,
Ivana.
I got you beat with an 8.
no!
With
a
your bless?
+3, and I rolled a 1 on the bless die.
I
I rolled
Wait a
a
minute, does
4.
Ivana take damage from over there?
Everyone's gonna take damage.
Oh.
God damn it.
Let's have Krag.
Oh,
why
man.
don't you roll a d20? We're gonna give this. This will be Telerax's roll.
Band camp
You got a
didn't pay
12.
off.
All right, 12 plus 1, 13. All right. I'm going to do something because essentially this is going to be the end of the combat here, but I'm going to burn my second to last advantage on a damage roll,
Oh wow.
and I'm using my blue dice.
Oh
This is
wow.
just a little bit.
Cards are off.
Okay, 3 is the first one. All right. Anyone? So Kalfina, Ivana, Telerak, you all take 15 points of damage for failing. Krag,
I'm
Sathatir,
Out.
you both only take 7.
I
With
go,
this,
I go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead.
I'll just say, pretty much, if it's an explosion, I kind of go flying and I hit my head against the wall or something, or at least I fall over. I'm down.
You're out too.
I'm still up.
I'm out.
Yeah, Kalfina is thrown into a bookshelf and slumps down unconscious on the floor.
Wow, I didn't know I had you guys down that much.
Well, we
Um,
only have like 20.
I
hit
know,
points.
I know.
I had 2 hit points left.
What the 3 of you don't see is the darkness explodes out of this creature, and then and while all you go flying, the 2 scale shields that were there, those shadow scale shields as well, scatter away into dust and darkness. The space where that figure stood is devoid of darkness. The book still hovering.
Oh, God damn it.
Telerax, Sathatir, you're both still up. You both have healing potions. You're both able to rush to the others to bring them back. Sathatir, who would you like to rush your potion to?
Well, we've got a healer right next to me, so I'm going to give her my potion.
So
Thank you.
Kalfina awakens. Telerax, being closer to Ivana, will give his to her. Between the rest of you, you're able to as well bring Krag. There's no...
Is it still darkness in here?
It is still darkness. It is still holding. It is still a little less moving. Those voices that you heard are whispers again.
I mean,
I th-
does anybody have like mage hand? We could just like close that book.
Or maybe we should just leave.
I'm going to take my hempen rope and I'm going to put it around the area that the book is and say, y'all get out of here for a minute. And as they leave,
If they
Gladly.
choose.
I want
Gladly.
you
Okay.
all to leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out and then I'm gonna like peek in the window.
I'll peek at
You
this
see
window.
you see me using my tinder box, and I light my hempen rope on fire, and I just stand there for a moment and watch to see if the book catches.
So the book is still floating.
Right, but I've dropped 50 feet of
Oh,
hempen
so you're
rope.
trying to coil it up underneath?
Yes.
You get a little fire.
Doesn't seem. Well, you know what? Make a dexterity save the check for me.
Check. Okay.
I'm curious if you touched it while it's trying to pile this up underneath it.
7. I touched it.
While trying to set up this pile in coils of rope, you touch the book and it falls over. No longer suspended, falls onto the ground and lays in this darkness and dust.
All right, pick it up. Hey,
Okay.
finger
You
wiggler.
got a book.
Ivana.
Yes.
I'm gonna walk over to where she left and holding the book out. You want to look at this, or what should I do?
Oh, that is definitely cursed.
You mean if I would have touched it with my staff and you would have hit it with your hammer, we might have been able to just close the book?
I don't know. Maybe it had to be like the thing dead, and then we could close it. I'm just saying. Do you want to look at this?
Does anything look strange with Cyrenthe as he approaches?
Make an insight check.
Natural 20.
You do see around his feet as he's walking, darkness kicking up. And then you look around at everybody else and you see that same darkness kicking up. So no, he seems to be just fine.
Read it. Read it. Really read
She'll take out a pouch that she has and she'll hold it up and let him just drop it right inside. Hey, thanks for the raid.
Right.
20 sides to every story. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Nearly, but
Nearly.
we got
So
there.
Sathitu, you drop the book inside the pouch.
Yeah, inside the
satchel.
pouch.
She'll tie it up and then she'll stow it back in her pack. We'll look into that later when we have a little bit safer environs for studies.
Yeah, this is a hut of nope.
Perhaps we should burn it to the ground.
Or we could just like bury it here and then never speak of it again.
I don't like leaving things like this out in the wilderness for anyone to
No.
look at. I think I'd rather take it back to the Fangs and have them deal with it.
Agreed.
All right.
And set up for another adventure where all the Fangs get corrupted and
Right.
ready to be.
As you head back through the marsh, you follow your tracks back a ways. You extend southwest. You know where the cliffs are to the west. You continue kind of heading that way. Another night. Well, I guess it's up to you. Would you push on to attempt to reach the safety of the I guess the end of the marsh, or would you try, so you're gonna try to hurry up along that a little bit?
I vote we keep going and get out of here personally.
Yeah, get to a safe place, at least back to the second campfire.
Yeah, where
Slith-
we defeated the shambling mound, or if we can get to the place where we had the
Where the-
signals.
The signals.
Or you can continue on to the third encampment that you haven't been to. Either way,
Third encampment.
Yeah, let's go to the third encampment.
you're able to make it there, despite the delay in having this bit of fight and this extra bit of intrigue at the end. You will all have gained a point of exhaustion from this. Slith, he left you long ago.
Coward.
Yeah.
Smart.
He did say he was a coward.
obviously he was thankful for what you have done in taking care of such a problem, but also it is a strange problem that he doesn't know what he has to deal with now. Reaching the third encampment, you actually stumble in a bit later than you would have expected. The moon is, because I know a day or two prior to it being a full moon of Nylir, and you find the campfire burning. And when you go in to see who is there, it is another squad. Actually, you recognize a few of them. And Krag, as you wander in and you pass a nearby tree, you hear a small voice above you. Well, where were you? And you jump a bit and look up, and there is Tilly, your little gnomish friend that you instructed back at the Eastern Krag, or Eastern Fang. No longer is that scared, unknowing gnome, but is in fact someone who seems very adept at the darkness and hiding herself. Give a insight check for me, please.
Sure. Oh, 19.
At that point, seeing how hidden she was and her the armor and the weapons she carries, you think you may have been tricked. And she was well versed in combat, despite your teachings and instructions back at the Eastern Fang.
I still like her.
The evening goes as normal. If you tell the story, if not, is up to you. Seeing as we're running low on time.
Got this scar from an explosion of darkness.
Oh my God! There goes Sathatir on his stories. The trip to the Western Fang, now even with 2 full teams. The instructors seem to be friendly with each other, comparing notes on the squads. And you do reach the Western Fang and are met with Cyrenthe. Hold on, let me find it. Cyrenthe Faultbreaker, a dwarven woman with half of her beard scarred and burnt away, along with only part of her ear, but both eyes seem to be just fine. She seems a bit gruff and a little upset that 2 teams came in at once and one, Telerak missed their rendezvous. But a quick explanation away seems to sway her fears and the issues with it. You do find that Calfina Larissus actually is back at the Western Fang. Your mentor that went running off after Orlin. Sadly, Orlin did not make it. We did get taken down by a shambling mound and was lost as it escaped away.
Anyway.
Yeah. No skin off your back.
I mean, that's too bad. So we got this book.
Telling about the book and bringing it out, Cyrenthe kind of ushers you all aside and more so looks at the three of Ivana, Sathatir, and Krag, and kind of squints her eye at Telerax. You have you have a strange you seem to stick your tail in the most dangerous things, Telerak. I hear your squad as one who crossed the summoner, one who delves deeper into dangerous rituals than they should, and one who unknowingly carries the burden of their father. Why were you with this group? Talarak. Oh, they were assigned me. I don't know. Any curiosities that you all would like to question? I'll give you all one question to ask, and then we will end it for the evening.
Can I use what I learned in boot camp to ask 3 questions? Just
No. It's not a roll.
What is the dark magic that's held within this tome?
I do not know. This we will have to bring more to other more known about the world. The mages may have to inspect this more. Your master himself may know more. Zelrum.
He would be quite interested in helping us uncover its secrets.
Yes, we must figure out if Zilthrashtes, the decayed lord, was the one who opened this or sent this book upon the world. Upon hearing that name, you now kind of catch that when Bevrian spoke about the I forgot the name. That dragon name. Seems like this is the true name of it. And not, oh man, I don't have it in my notes right here.
Name to be edited in later.
Yeah, that's what I get for having not great notes at the time.
Even great notes become not great notes when
Oh
you're
my
under
God,
pressure.
the Thrustus is the name of the dragon?
Yes. He is the decayed lord, the black dragon.
Black dragon.
Deep within the Sithrax. He is the black dragon within the decayed marshes. Cyrenthe seems to be a little more in the know. She's been here a little. She's seen some stuff. Anyone else with a question?
So like the summoner was that lady who like was banished to the swamp. Don't you think it would be better to like maybe just get her some therapy or something than to like just let her be alone to do whatever she wants out in a wasteland?
Oh, no, my dear. The summoner was not what you experienced out there. As she turns to Sathatir, you have had a run-in with the summoner, or at the very least, may garner some information from him whether or not it is safe to do so.
What caused your burns?
That came from a overconfidence upon setting a troll on fire and assuming that it was down for the count. It had enough strength to get one more strike in.
All right. Thank you.
Krag, your question.
Question is this affected? There was something in it that was celestial, and I'm curious. And there was something else. It was like it was twisted. Curious if we know. I know you're looking for more information on the book, but this magical effect. It seemed with this decay and this, it almost like it was almost like a stasis of life.
I cannot give more information with what you had seen until we are able to assemble a group to investigate what seems to be remaining, what I hear of this darkness, this decay. So I hope to gather more information there. If you wish, since your Father Wellerman may have some more information for you on your burden that you are set to carry, where we will keep you as a possible scout and someone to come out to the wastes, because it may lead you on your journey and your search for Rain's Tear. But you'll have to talk to the Father more about that.
Rain's Tear. All right.
And with that, we are going to end this two-shot because it is getting a bit late.
Nicely
Thank
done,
you
sir.
all for joining and playing. Sorry we didn't get to dig too much in anything, but that's the nature of one-shots and two-shots.
You know what, though?
What's up with Rain's Tear?
We got to see more of your world than anybody's seen yet.
True.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
like it. I really liked the end though. I didn't expect to get all that extra information at the end. That was cool, and it surprised me how much I enjoyed it.
Awesome
Fair.
lore
Just
dump.
getting at the very end when we get action on it at all, you know. But it's like, oh, cool. What's that?
All
What?
teasers. Now that they're out there, maybe that'll encourage me to do more sessions, and maybe we'll have some more coming back. We have a lot of hooks that other groups can follow and experience, and a lot of the world that still has stories to tell.
I know
Heck
one
yeah.
paladin that'll be willing to join up again.
And you are more than welcome to use Cyrenthe in any of the future things that you do with this world. If you don't have me as a player, or even if you offer me a spot, I'd really like to explore other options, because fighter's cool, but there's a couple things that I want to try.
There's a lot in here that we'll see what all happens. But again, thank you, players. I want to let everybody get a chance to say, where we can find you, and your socials and anything coming on. But again, thank you all for playing. Why don't we start with Ash, who gracefully jumped in to be a fourth member this evening and came in only as a one-shot and only found out last night. So thank you again.
Thank you, Ash.
Like
What a
8 o'clock
trooper.
last
Thank
night.
you.
Like, yeah, okay. Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. You can find me here on Guild Superior this coming Wednesday. And then Thursday, hop over to Rainbows and Razor Blades, 7 p.m. Central for At the Threshold. And then next Monday is another short shot. We're already back for Castle of Mirrors.
Yep.
Which I will
Yup.
be in with
Man.
Dave.
Yep. That's right.
So see you there.
Brett.
You won't find me anywhere. I just enjoy watching streams, especially Guild Superior, and watching everybody get crazy there. And otherwise, just hoping to join some games here and there and get to know more people in the community.
Cool. Mike.
Madcap 23 almost anywhere. Twitter, I'm Madcap23. On Twitch, I'm the Madcap23. D&D Beyond, I'm a homebrew creator, and I've got my own homebrew world that I'm working on with 2 people on this channel. And yeah, you can find me any of those places. I'm on Discord as Madcap23. Feel free to hit me up. I don't have any projects in the works right this second, aside from my homebrew stuff on D&D Beyond, but always interested in joining a game as a player, since I'm pretty much a forever DM usually.
Cool. I'm actually going to jump in here quick before Dave, just so that he can smooth right on out of in transition. But I've been Taithalonos. Thank you for joining me, everyone, players and watchers, since this has been my very first time being a DM, longtime player. Find me on Taithalonos, Twitch, Twitter. Feel free to shoot me, tag me in any comments or anything, because this was a lot of fun, and we'll be DMing more in the future. But Dave, again, thank you for offering me this and helping me rip off the Band-Aid. And please let us hear more from you.
Well, first of all, Ty, thank you so much for giving us a little glimpse into this world that you've been working on. It's so cool and big, and there's so much potential. So I'm excited to see what you do with it. You always are welcome here at the Guild to run more games. I had a fantastic time, I think, on behalf of everybody here and the Guild. Like, congratulations and well done. That was awesome. A lot of the games that we play on Mondays are going to be opportunities for other game masters to run games of all different types of styles and rule sets. So if you want to get connected with what's going on here at the Guild and get involved with some of these games, I encourage you to check out our Discord, which I just dropped a link in the chat. We have a ton of stuff coming up. We have been actively recruiting for games. We have, as Ashley mentioned, next Monday, the Castle of Mirrors 3-shot or something. It's like the continuation of this chaotic Tarask TPK
charity
fundraising event that we did for No Kid Hungry a couple months ago. We're going to go back to the moment before the Tarask, and we're gonna play out the rest of the module. Someone was calling it the Scooby-Doo moment, but we're gonna go back and redo that. We've got some great stuff coming up. We've got a Beyond Saltmarsh recap on Wednesday. The new Greyhawk campaign is going to start in September with a couple of build-up world building episodes leading up to that on Tuesdays, so look out for that. The Bleak season is bringing their homebrew world, the Shadesong Saga, to the channel as well. We're going to be running that on Fridays. We're going to have a Blade Runner game on Sundays. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up, so hang out with us. Follow the channel so you get updated when we have when we go live. Come on over to the Discord and hang out. We really appreciate all of you for being here. We are going to raid a friend of ours next, Party of 2 RPG. So if you're already following us or whatever, and you've got the raid emojis, please give them a big welcome or raid welcome. I don't know what you call it. You know what I mean. As we dive into their channel and give them some love. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. Gosh, Ty, that was fantastic, dude. Well done. I can't wait to see what happens next time with your world. Thanks, everybody. We'll see ya.
Thank you.